Today we are going to be talking about what PCS 2.5 is all about. We're going to look at some of the capabilities that are present in that release. If I can figure out how to move the screen. Okay, so PCS 2.5 has a few different things in it, but the big thing is that top bullet point here. So we have completely redesigned and refreshed the integration between PCS and Bullhorn Web. I'm going to be showing you guys what that looks like in a lot of detail today. I know a lot of people use both PCS and Bullhorns to manage their corrosion control needs. And so we're really hoping that this integration gives you guys what you've been asking for quite some time. Really excited to show it to you guys today. Also, we've completed our wireless sync capabilities between PCS and Survey Manager by enabling you to wirelessly upload surveys out of Survey Manager into PCS for close interval and DCVG surveys. There's been some issues with the job services that PCS uses to pull data in and send data out, intermittently stopping for various people in their environments and in our hosted environment. We've resolved that. And then we've defaulted the previous readings in field computer send to 1. This goes hand in hand with a capability that was added in a recent FBC release where they can see the latest reading for any previous inspections right on their screen while they're executing their survey in the field. And so that just enables that to happen a little bit easier. So moving forward, we're going to be talking a lot about the integration today between PCS and Bullhorn Web. Some really nice capabilities here. There is a brand new Bullhorn Web API. I'm going to be showing you guys a little bit about what that's going to look like. That API will eventually be unlocked to be used for external third-party use as well, coming soon. And so they still have some additional work to do on it before it can be used for other systems besides PCS, but it was built with that intention in mind. And so really excited to show you guys that today, as well as we understand that a lot of you guys have already gone through the pain of mapping Bullhorn units to PCS facilities using the Bullhorn bridge. And so if you guys have done that, when you start using this new integration tool, we will prompt you basically to import all of those previous mappings in so that you're not starting at ground zero with the new integration. We've taken auto mapping to the next level. And so what that means is in the previous iteration of the Bullhorn bridge, things had to match pretty much exactly key for key between PCS and Bullhorn units in order to get those to auto map in the Bullhorn bridge utility. With this new integration, we will take what logic the bridge already used, where if the facility ID in PCS and the facility ID in on the Bullhorn unit, which is a free text field, match, we will auto map that for you. But we also use things like GPS proximity. If we know the Bullhorn unit is reporting from a specific location, and we know from your PCS database that there's a test point facility or a rectifier at that location, we will attempt to auto map those two things together. You can still confirm it to make sure that our best guess was true, but it's a means to enable you to quickly be able to bring a bunch of Bullhorn units into PCS, auto map them immediately to your PCS facilities that are in your database, and then be up and running on the integration faster. I'm going to be showing you that in a little bit more detail as well. And then finally, the big piece here is enhanced issue detection and resolution, and we're going to be looking at that as well. So this is a glimpse of the Bullhorn Web API. This is a new capability that will be available under the admin tab in Bullhorn Web. And as you can see here, there's this active customer IDs thing down here. And so previously, if you had multiple different Bullhorn accounts, you would have to create a separate bridge in PCS for every single one of those accounts in order to bring Bullhorn data in. Now you can daisy chain Bullhorn accounts together within the Bullhorn Web side of the fence. And then you have a single API client key and secret that you copy, and then you paste just that piece into PCS. And it sends, in this case, both of these Bullhorn accounts, bundles all of the units that are in both of those accounts together, and then sends it along with one data payload. I don't believe there's a limit as far as how many you can have. Some of our customers have up to like 30 different Bullhorn accounts. So we're hoping that this really streamlines the setup between the two. And then this capability also goes in line with the third-party use as well. And so when we get ready to unlock this for third-party system use, same concept applies. You can add as many accounts as you want in a single credential, and then send that to, say, Power BI to manage your Bullhorn units in a Power BI like dashboard or something similar. So again, that will be available likely later this year. The team has some additional work to do in terms of documentation and cleaning it up before it's available for use outside of PCS, but PCS can use that API today. So like I said, one token needed from Bullhorn Web to show all accounts associated with it. So I took that API client ID and secret from the previous screenshot, and I posted it in here. And then this is a new screen within PCS. It's a new utility under tools called Bullhorn Integration, and it is its own completely standing capability within PCS. And so you copy it in, one-time thing. It shows you all of the customer names and customer IDs from Bullhorn Web that are associated with that credential. And then if you want to add additional ones in the future, all you do is go to that Bullhorn API screen that we just looked at, add one more, and PCS will pick it up automatically. And then finally, you've got your inspection frequency settings. If you use the bridge today, that probably looks pretty familiar to you. Okay, so streamlined mapping. I talked about this a little bit before, but what exactly does that mean? And so this is the unmapped tab of the new utility. And what we're looking at is a lot of blue highlights and then some that are gray highlights. And so everything that is highlighted as blue, we've been able to auto map automatically. And then anything that has some mismatches between PCS or Bullhorn Web show up as gray, and then you can just free text enter into the PCS facility ID or location description fields and be able to find the PCS facility you're looking for. And then from there, we can also take you to be able to align the data elements between the two so that they're completely in sync. And I'll show you what that looks like a little bit later on. Additionally, because you have the capability to have multiple Bullhorn accounts in that single API key payload, we've added the concept of Bullhorn account groups, Bullhorn account and group filters throughout the entire system. And so in this screenshot, again, we've got the the two different companies that were in that API screen that I showed in Bullhorn Web. And they've got a number of different groups associated in here. And so what you can do with this is you can set it and forget it, basically. You can check the ones that apply to you. So if you're a technician who's only over a specific region and all of the Bullhorn units are in groups that you know about, you can select the Bullhorn groups that you know you care about, and it will filter all of the data down in the mapped, unmapped tabs, any units that you've excluded from bringing data into PCS, and then also the issues dashboard, which we'll be looking at in a bit. Filters are saved and remembered by individual users. And so once you set what you want to see and manage, it will keep that for you until you change it. And then finally, it really allows people to granularly keep all of the various noise, if you will, out of their integration tool, but only see what they care about. And so this screenshot that's kind of in the middle of the text on the right side of the screen here is a snippet from the dashboard. And so it's saying currently showing 143 out of 265 unresolved issues. These counts are a little bit elevated because this is test data, but at the end of the day, it will filter out the issues that you see in the issue resolution board to only the data that you care about based off those filters. So with clear issue reporting, there's various different means that you can see, and I realize this this slide is a little bit chaotic here, but we've got the dashboard over here on the top left, and that is a larger view of what we just looked like. And so you'll see in there, there's things like warning messages that give you intelligent information based off what was actually wrong, including which unit it is and which PCS facility it is. If you use the Bullhorn bridge today, you know that getting to that level of detail of information as to like, what is exactly the issue? Why am I getting a warning here? And which unit is it? In the Bullhorn bridge, it tells you things like rows in a data payload, but that isn't really helpful. And so we've done a lot of work to make sure that we're giving you guys clear information that you can use to act on. Also, you'll notice on the screenshot on the top right of the PCS screen where the account name is, there's now a Bullhorn little icon that has an issue, a warning and error message count associated with it. And so that's your way of being able to log into PCS and then see if there's a little yellow bubble there. That's actually a clickable icon, so you can just click on it, and it will launch you directly into this dashboard screen where you can see which issues are driving into that little yellow bubble count there. And then finally, the black screenshot at the bottom is an example of an email. There is an email notifications configuration capability as well. And so you can add both PCS users and non-PCS users to that list, and they will get basically integration summary run every time the inspection frequency hits. And so if you have it set to pull data once a month, it's going to trigger this email to run after that monthly pull and give you clear, again, error messages that tell you exactly what the problem is so that you can rectify it. So we're going to talk a little bit about the issue resolution wizard now. There's a lot of different things that we can capture here. Facilities marked as inactive in PCS, facility IDs that are not found in PCS, if the GPS location is different between the two, if the facility ID changed on either one side of the fence or the other, or a unit label changed on one side of the fence or the other, if the Bullhorn unit just stopped responding for whatever reason, all of those issues will be automatically detected by this system. And then from there, we've taken it a step further and we've given you ways to smartly fix those issues for you. And so any of those line items on that dashboard screen that we looked at a bit ago are clickable line items. And if you click on a line, it brings you into this screen for that specific data point that you're looking at. It tells you exactly what the issue is at the top. So in this case, it's a GPS location mismatch, tells you the unit, tells you which data point it is, gives you a little snippet of information in terms of what the PCS lat long is and what the Bullhorn one is, tells you when the last time it had data come in. And then finally, you can update things on the PCS side. And so clarity there, this is on, you can update things on the PCS side, later improvement to be bidirectional to say automatically update the facility ID in Bullhorn Web from this screen as well. But today it's limited to PCS. And so if you want to change it on the Bullhorn side, you'll still have to manually go modify that unit in Bullhorn Web. But if you want to update it in PCS, say I took this Bullhorn unit and moved it, and I want to update it to a different facility, you can just do that from in here and say save and next. Another example, property mapping changed. It's telling you that an engineering label changed. In this case, we just added an S to be able to trigger the issue to be able to grab a screenshot of it. But again, clear information as to what happened, what the PCS thing says, what the Bullhorn label says, and then finally, you can update things on the PCS side of the fence if you want to from directly in this screen. Another example, facility ID. And so there's different examples of these issue resolution screens for all of the different bullet points listed on this slide. And so with this is really the key thing that this integration gives you that you haven't had before. You haven't had the ability to see what exactly the issue is, so that you can get it resolved quickly and make sure that facility doesn't pop up on your delinquency report because a Bullhorn rating isn't coming in, and you just don't know it if the Bullhorn bridge, for lack of a better way of saying it, kind of failed silently. So I'm going to pause there before I talk about other PCS 2.5 things. Are there any questions on that new integration? Is there any feedback that you guys would like to share? I'm interested in knowing what you guys think from that short preview of it. Nothing? All right. All right then. Other things in PCS 2.5, we've added the ability, like I said earlier, to receive from Survey Manager directly for close interval and DCVG surveys. That's really the final piece of our wireless sync efforts that we've been undergoing for the last couple years now. And then we've resolved the fact that job services would intermittently stop. And then we've defaulted previous readings to 1 on the field computer send screen. You'll also notice on this field computer receive, and we did this on send as well, the data source bubbles have changed. And so it used to say from mobile and from mobile from disk, and then Allegro and Allegro from disk. Those labels led to confusion for people in terms of, well, I have an Allegro AX. Do I use Allegro or do I use mobile? And so it wasn't really clear. So we've cleaned this up to make it very clear in terms of what those different radial buttons are for. And that's all I have for you guys today. One last call for questions. And if not, I will hand it back over to Christy Ann to close us out.
I have one question. Is this going to require software upgrades on computers?
Yeah, so PCS will require an upgrade. It's not available yet. Will it be available right now? We're targeting a late August date for this release. And you would have to upgrade your PCS environment to get access to this.
Okay. Are there going to be, for people who have PCS, is there, because the point of my questions, or where I'm coming from, is I'm not as familiar as people actually use a lot of this stuff, because I currently don't. But for people who have PCS, is there some sort of automatic notification, or do they get an email prompting them when the update is available?
No, so PCS is typically installed by IT organizations. Unless you are part of our hosted community, we will upgrade that environment for everyone at a specific date and time. But most of our PCS customers that have it on their own internal environments require an IT organization to do that upgrade. And so it's not like a Microsoft Store kind of application where we publish the updates there and then you can just pull it down. It's a little bit more in depth than that. Your IT has to upgrade the database itself, and then from there, there's just an installer package that is an installation wizard, just like any other application.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? All right, I'll hand it back to you, Christiane.
All right. Thanks everyone for joining us this morning. If you have any other additional questions, you can always reply to our follow-up emails. We'll send links to the recording once it's ready for you to watch it again. And join us for the next one. That will be in August, not September. I'm thinking ahead. But and same time next month. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.